What's up, YouTube? How's everyone doing today? The moment has finally arrived. So many people have asked, when am I going to start episode 6? Well, that'll be today. So, I'm not going to go into too much today. I'm going to get an introductory kind of deal going because there's so much to episode 6. There's a lot. Just keep in mind that episode 6 is the final episode. After that, it's just updates, adding new stuff, and everything like that. So after this update, this is it in story wise. There's no episode 7. They may be episode 7, never know. But as of right now, episode 6 is the finale. So that being said, I urge you, do your story. Like, don't skip on it. Do your story, because if you want the true ending to episode 6, from what I've been reading online, it requires you to have done story. So make sure you have story done up to right now, as episode 5 is like in part 1 or something like that. So just keep up with the story. Even if you skip it, just do it anyway. I'm skipping it because I've done everything. So make sure you do your story. That's the most important thing. If you don't want the sappy, boring ending that I went through on here, but I've done the true ending because you can do the final battle. Make sure you do your story. Now, a couple of things that we're going to talk about right now, because it is so much to episode 6, I have to figure out where to start. This is going to be an introductory until episode 6, so there's a lot that's going on. I won't get into story right now. I'll just leave that. Actually, I really don't talk about story. I try to go spoiler free as possible. So if you ever had that mindset that, oh, I might spoil a story, I won't. I will show just the quest. Again, if you were wondering how much of episode 5 there is, I did make a video about this a little while ago. I forgot what video it was. If I remember to throw a card here, I'll go ahead and do that. Otherwise, it's in one of my episode 5s, but I'll find it and card it either here or put it towards the end. So, as you can see now, it's still episode 6 Photoners. Now, the ending of episode 5, depending on if you've been paying attention, yeah, they're trying to pick up the pieces of what happened at the end of episode 5. I'll tell you right now, it sucks. In a good way. Like, it just sucks what happens to them. So a lot happens in episode 6. So again, as you see right here, this was the normal route. And there is another route that you can take if you've done this story. Now, I didn't do this one, but I've done the last final urgent quest or emergency quest and saw it on YouTube. So if you want to see the true ending, do your story. So I won't get into much about what's happening, but there are new enemy types. They're called Aluminum X, but they may call them something different in NA, which they usually change the name. Kind of tempted to show you how long episode 6 is, so I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick. Now, if you're adverse to spoilers, this is just a tiny little spoiler alert. I will be showing episode 6 story missions right here. So if you don't want to see that, just skip ahead just a little bit. It's not going to be too much, but these are all the quests. So it starts off right here, and then it just skips all the way down. And then as you can see, it's not too long. But of course, if you have, the true ending, it splits off and we'll keep going another battle or two. So that's how long the story is. So that's why I'm just going through really fast. So there you go. That gives you an idea of just how long episode 6 is. Now, instead of having you kind of find out what video was, I'll just go ahead and show you what episode 5 is right now. So right now, you should already know where you are in episode 5 if you've done the story. So we'll be about right about here. No, a little closer. Trying to remember where. Okay, so about here. So we're about here right now in story. So if you haven't done story, it's about right here, and then I think this quest is next, and then after that it's all locked. So the next area will be the Kingdom of Epic. Yeah, it's really called epic. And I believe the next Dark Blast form will be Apprentice, followed by Double. And then the ending is right down here. So there you go. So after that, a few things that has changed in episode 6. Enemies now have barriers. So when you're fighting enemies, certain bosses, mainly bosses, they're going to have things called barriers. Now they'll either deflect damage or damage is caused at a lower rate. I can't really show that right now because I'd have to find a boss, find an enemy that has this. But in a lot of free field stuff, by the way, there's going to be ultra hard free fields. And as the name suggests, they're really hard. So yeah, get a group to do this. Don't do this by yourself. It just takes a very long time to kill stuff by yourself unless you're like elite level, and even then it gets pretty difficult, and it's just these 3 runs. So try not to do these by yourself. They're just really hard. I've tried it by myself and it just takes forever just to kill one thing, if you can imagine that. So that's another thing. One other thing you get is the new Tokyo mission, which is the rainbow one. Now I did made a video on this one, and man, these runs give you some good stuff, like really good stuff. And you kill so many really rare enemies that you'd be surprised if you're like level 91 or 2 and you gain 3 levels, or maybe even 2, just depending on if there's experience rate drop going on or you got a lot of boosters and stuff. Just yeah, they're really good runs. Another thing they have is called Divide Quest. So not going to get much to Divide Quest. It's just a 5-step kind of deal where you're on a ship. So I'm not going to get into this. It's going to be far off in the future. There's just too much to episode 6 that, you know, it's going to take a while to get through all this stuff. So just bear in mind with that. And then they have Endless Quest, which is really fun because you can do this solo with different challenges. Get as far as you can, defeating as many enemies as you can while doing like stuff in the middle to get extra time and extra points. It's really fun. But normally, like I said, do this with a group or do a solo to test yourself. I've done this solo and it's pretty fun. And there's a lot of other stuff. They've added stuff to Ultimate Quest, which is the ship infiltration, which just is really fun. Just a lot of new enemies. Quick tip, dark weapons are the weakness to these enemies. So if you've been wondering what elements you should be carrying into episode 6, do a mix of light and dark. Especially dark if you're going to be fighting a lot of these enemies. And the way they're fought is really strange because their weaknesses are, you know, you can easily identify them, but getting to the weaknesses can be kind of tricky. So these are going to be a pain in the butt enemies to fight. And like I said, there's loads more that I'm just not going to get into right now. But episode 6 is definitely cranks up the difficulty. It's going to make it extremely difficult for some people. Level cap does increase to 95, and of course you get 3 new successor classes. So trying to figure out which to do first, but I may just do them in order. So be on the lookout for a Phantom video sometimes this week. But Hurricane Delta is going to be hitting me quite possibly on Thursday or Friday. So yeah, Florida sucks. So I'm going to try to maybe make the video a couple of days early and just put them out on the schedule. So if I do get hit by this hurricane, I'll still have videos coming at a regular scheduled rate until I get back up and running again. I just hope it doesn't hit me, but it looks like it is. So yay me. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and cut this video right now. Be on the lookout for a Phantom video. I'll probably do it tomorrow. Or I may just do more in-depth of what more is added, like with the shops and stuff like that. So stick out for the next video, guys. Peace.